All right, everybody, and welcome to episode number 30. I think this is the big 3-0 coming up here. We are 5 years, I think exactly, because we started, or maybe 5 years in a month. 'Cause we started in May of 2001. It is now, last month was May of 2006, so that was the 5th year anniversary, and now we're moving into June, the 5th year. Merchandise, we have started to upgrade in a conservative manner. So this is gonna take a while, but when it's done, it's gonna just about double our amount we get from fans. It's going to where is this? It's going to add another $5 per popularity point, which is going to be a ton of money. And not to mention, with everything we're getting over here on the individual workers, this is going to end up being a pretty good deal in the long run, I would think. If we go to our figurehead, we have nobody because I can't pick one to save my life. Originally, we had AJ Styles. He was a god awful figurehead, so I immediately had to remove him, and I replaced him with John Cena. And he was also just as bad. And then the problem we're running into now is I think if we could find a guy, uh, I think we could probably do a lot of stuff. That being, uh, we have a lot of good candidates. You know, Cena, CM Punk, Monty Brown, as you can see right there. Uh, Russ Haas. Is Charlie up here? Oh yeah, Charlie's here too. They're both poor. I wasn't prepared to see them. Ooh, Sonny Siaki. He's kind of lacking in charisma, I believe that. Steve Blackman, and none of them are great. They've all got some issue. There's nobody that perfectly stands out. That said, I still believe uh it would probably work best. So we're gonna make Punk our figurehead, and then in the background, uh, this could be a really bad idea. We're gonna have somebody be our heir apparent, or maybe not. We'll just stick with Punk. See how that goes. And we gotta try and prop him up so that way when that 3 year when that year ticks over, and we actually get to see like what happens. Uh, Hopefully it'll be a boon because so far it has been not just minor negative, like the worst possible form of negative. We are now sitting at uh 3 straight months of over $10,000. We've lost a little bit, but now we're doing the weekly show and we're solvent, we're making money, and we're going to continue that trend here. And hopefully, as time goes on, I don't know if this is the screen that I wanted to go to. Get ready for this. I'm going to the financial estimate, so you can't see anything. Let me fix that. Bam, there we go. We're sitting at about $12,500 in estimated sponsorship income. So that doesn't necessarily suggest that's what we're going to get, but uh, it's going up. And the more popularity points we get, the more money we're going to get. So that'll all just be on top of what we're already making, which is, pretty good. Ticket sales should only keep going up. We almost hit crack 10,000. I think that's going to be a big deal here in a minute because I think we're going to break it this time. And I think with that, we are good to move on. This month it is Bound for Glory. What am I gonna have as a main event? I probably had that all figured out in the last one, and I completely forgot about it. Oh, that's right. Cena just won or retained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in a 30-minute Iron Man match on a random episode. Uh, and Nigel McGuinness defeated Bobby Roode, Chris Hero, and Sonny Siaki. So we're probably gonna go with Nigel and Cena at Bound for Glory. It's unless that's a bad chemistry. Hold up, I forget. Cena. Just Cena. Just I don't see Cena here. Hey Johnny boy. Oh, Gotta love it. Gotta. Oh, he had one. He has good chemistry with Monty Brown. I can't believe I forgot about that. But I digress. Is there anything I want to do before we move on to like the actual show section? Here are our franchise players according to our creative team. Jeff Jarrett's number 1. CM Punk is number 2. Cena's number 3. Styles number 4. And Ron Killings is number 5. Hi, Ron the Truth Killings. Next big things, Moxley is number 1. Steen's number 2. Gix is 3, which I think is just Tyler Black, which is also Seth Rollins. I can't tell because that picture is really bad. Samoa Joe and Big Van Walter. And this is almost the exact same lineup, except you threw in Drew Gulak in there. Talk the talk. CM Punk is better than Jeff Jarrett. Okay, I believe that. Showstoppers. I'm surprised you're here. Ron the Truth Killings. Not that Ron the Truth Killings was a bad worker, but I don't think I would have put him up as a showstopper. Who's not? Hi, Cassidy. You're really not doing good. Air Paris, Mike Sullivan, Billy Fives, James Storm. I mean, I'm surprised he's that much higher, but I digress. Alright, I think that's it. Oh yeah, this is the 6th month, so after the end of this month, we're actually going to get a good middle of the road point, see who's considered where. And with that, I think I will head off and start doing the TV shows. I will see you when we get to finish booking on the next one, unless something big shows up. Until then, just wait a second. It will take me like 20 minutes to do it. All right, everybody, welcome to weekly event number 50. It is being held in front of 140 people here, and Sonny Siaki, and the event starts off with Sonny Siaki defeating Joe Doring in his first appearance since January. Joe's first appearance since January, with a snap swinging neck breaker, which sounds like it hurts. I think that's called the Siakalypse, if I remember correctly. Segment rating of a 39. A good opening matchup. We then follow that up with a oh my god. I Oh, you see that too, right? The top number? That's a 95. Okay. All right, Johnny boy. So John Cena just had the best segment in company history by a large margin. Not even fucking close. And then Nigel McGuinness comes out, and that's still a pretty good promo. A 78's not bad. Oh my god. Okay. What a phenomenal way. So Cena comes out. I'm surprised by that number. Cena comes out. He's with the title, and he's like, "Well, now I'm finally getting like my victory lap. I tried to have it before. Punk wanted the match. We had the match. I won. I wasn't here last week. I'm here this week, and I'm finally taking my victory lap." Uh, McGuinness comes out. And says, "Well, you can take your victory lap as long as you want. I'm gonna be the champion after I beat you at Bound for Glory," so on and so forth. A pretty standard match, a promo building up to their pay-per-view match. I say pay-per-view, but we don't have pay-per-view yet. We then followed it up with Jimmy Rave versus Roderick Strong. A pretty good match. Jimmy Rave wins, a 45 segment rating. After the match, as Jimmy Rave is celebrating, from the crowd for the first time, and God knows how long, Amazing Red, Frankie Kazarian, and Samoa Joe return to the promotion, and they start kicking the shit out of Jimmy Rave. And as security and people from the back come out to try and save, they bail. And that's that segment. We follow it up with our main event of the night, and that's with 2 new tag teams I have made. Petey Williams making his long-awaited return to TNA Wrestling, teaming up with Bobby Roode in a newly formed tag team, Team Canada. And they win in their first match out. I don't know how Petey Williams has a gimmick that is getting stale. He hasn't been here. The Dark Knights, Jon Moxley and Gix, lose. Crowd did not give a fuck about this match. And the segment rating was a 36. So, should have switched those two. They were disappointed that none of the storylines furthered during the show. What do you mean? That was the best promo on the show. What are you talking about? All right. We're gonna we. All right. So Cena's getting that. So is Nigel. Because my God, I was not prepared for that. We lost $2,000. Uh, yeah, we that barely put a dent in us. By the way, popularity we gained. Whew, we gained 3 in America. Nothing until we get to Europe. We gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 popularity points outside of America. So that's a total of 17. And we get $10 for every point. So that's $170 more a month. That's that's good. We take those. Incremental. We got to get up there. Uh, Brian Christopher got an argument with Arn Anderson. Okay. Oh yeah, Ric Flair broke his toe. Because he wrestled Jeff Jarrett. He wrestled me, and they had a halfway decent match. Did we finally? We still haven't broke 5,000. I'm very sad. Uh, so something I noticed when we were going through, we've made a lot of money. Before that show, we had made $3,000. Uh, like that to me is just astounding. And we lost, I think, about 24. Uh, lost 24 from that point. So it is that's telling me it's like, yeah, I think as I figured this out, maybe April, maybe it was last month, I don't know. Whatever month we had 6 shows, and that's where I was like, eesh, whenever we have 5, we're gonna be doing fine. Whenever we got 6, we're gonna have a problem. But we sold $1,260 worth of tickets. We're gonna have 3 more shows like that, so we're quadruple that. We're sitting at about $5,000 on the weekly shows, and then on the big event, we'll see what we got. But that went very, very well, I do have to say. 12, 12, 7. How's my merchandise looking? Jarrett's already sold 1,000. Flair's already sold 178. Cena is going up. He's third. Funaki got some. Oof. I'm almost curious if I want to put Jeff Jarrett on the card or not. That's the kiss of money loss right there. But I say that's a pretty good first show. We gained quite a lot of popularity. It was a pretty good show overall. And I think what I didn't show this beforehand. We added Team Canada. We added the Brainbusters, which is Tonko and Lance Cade. They weren't officially a tag team, but they were just a small little group. So I was like, fuck it, we're making them a tag team. The Dark Knights is Seth Rollins and Jon Moxley. Duh. They should be a halfway decent jobber tag team for now, and then work their way up. Because we need more tag teams in that division if we're going to focus on that. And then we're going to have. Oh, I'm not supposed to be doing that. All right, fix that. Oh yeah, we still have Planet Jarrett. They are red hot right now. That's just because of AMW. That's it. So I'm gonna add a couple. Also, they're not the 4 Horsemen. I'm gonna add a couple more stables, and I'll show that after the next show because I gotta sign some people, and I'll show you who they are when we actually get to them, so I can give you a little bit more of my plans. So I'll see you here in just a little bit. All right, everybody, and welcome to weekly event number 51. And oh my God, 146 people in for this event. As we start off the show, we are greeted by a new commentary team. Don West and Mike TNA are now behind the commentary desk, and now we've actually got some proper goddamn announcers. Michael Shane, and the first match of this new era where we, have 2 really good, good color commentator, and Mike TNA, who's the professor, phenomenal play-by-play guy. Michael Shane and Chad Collier are going to be the first match up, and Michael Shane wins with a diving elbow drop, a 49 match rating. We then follow this up with kind of a dueling promo because the main event of the night is the champion Cena and the challengers for the tag titles against the challenger Nigel and the champions of the tag divisions going in at a 3-on-3 match. So the first 5 minutes of it are Cena and the tag team challengers, the Naturals, having a promo, and then the other five are the tag team champions AMW and Nigel having a promo, just essentially hyping up the match, getting themselves ready for the main event tonight. We followed it up with a match between Petey Williams and Montel Vontavious Porter, and for the first time in a long time, we see the Canadian Destroyer get somebody pinned. That's right, the Canadian Destroyer is now finally, in 2006, getting over in TNA, which it sounds so wrong considering, Petey Williams was such a big name guy up until around 2006, maybe not big name, but he was definitely, like, when you thought of X Division, he was in there. Saban, Skipper, Daniels, Styles, Petey Williams. Maybe this time he'll trademark the move. Everyone who uses it's got to pay him. We follow that up with a Jimmy Rave promo. He comes out and he wants some accountability. He wants them to come out. The people that attacked him, he wants to come out. He wants to confront them. He wants to fight them. And that's what happens in the second promo. Amazing Red comes out first, and Red and Rave get into a back and forth, which Rave is winning when Samoa Joe comes in, hits him from behind, and they tag team him. And I believe after this promo, it is announced it's going to be Jimmy Rave versus Amazing Red for the X Division title at the pay-per-view. We follow that up with a pretty good main event match, all things considered. Nigel McGuinness and America's Most Wanted defeated John Cena and the Naturals when Nigel McGuinness pinned Chase Stevens with a lariato. The hardest working guy here was Cena with a 58, although with a big glom match like this, it's going to be a little harder to have any one guy stand out. A 43. Not bad. We'll go Cena and Nigel. It's also worth noting Cena tried asking me for more money. He wants to be making $200 a show now. Ooh, that was a $3,000 loss, but I'm fine with that. There we go. We got another point in the Southeast, one more in New England, and two more, Puerto Rico and Hawaii. We got one in each region of India, and one in each region in England. So that is good. Das ist gut. We might be losing Sean Waltman here in a minute. So Sean Waltman's putting somebody over at the pay-per-view is what I'm hearing. We haven't used Sean, have we? I don't think we did. We're still making money, by the way. Even with exorbitant amounts of money being spent on that. Why? Well, I'd like to tell you that the industry is the economy went up to strong, so we're doing good on the economy. That will not last forever. We're halfway through the month, and we're probably going to be on track to about $11,000,000. $11,000. If it was $11,000,000, I'd be ecstatic. So we're looking pretty on that. What was I just? Oh, Sean Waltman. Who should I have you lose to if I haven't had you wrestle so far? I haven't. You have not wrestled in TNA so far. You're jobbing to somebody. I'm going to figure that out. All right. 5,000? Nope. Can't cross 5. But we'll see here in a minute. Next up is Bound for Glory. And I will see you at the show. All right, everybody. And here we are. Bound for Glory 2006, held in front of 483 people. A new TNA attendance record. We start off this incredibly expensive show with the TNA Tag Team Championships on the line. AMW, America's Most Wanted, taking on the Naturals, and in just over 16 minutes, the America's Most Wanted wins after they hit Chase Stevens with the death sentence, and Harris pins them for the 1-2-3. America's Most Wanted has defended the title 4 times. A 34-segment rating, a good way to open up the show. We then follow that up with Sean Waltman's debut in TNA. That didn't exactly go well, although he was good promo. Fans just didn't care. And then he went out and had a match with Elix Skipper. And Elix Skipper won with the overdrive of all moves. a 62 wrestling rating, and a 51 segment rating. We then follow it up with Amazing Red and Jimmy Rave promo. Red comes out first. Rave starts off on the entranceway. He starts talking, and before long, he says his piece, he goes down, and they start having their match. I'm gonna send your ass back to California or whatever. They go out, they have a great match, 51 wrestling rating, a 53 segment rating. An Amazing Red wins the X Division Championship straight up. Although, to be fair, Rave had been attacked brutally twice in 2 weeks in the build up to this, whereas Red didn't. I mean, he got into a little bit of a scuff last week, but Joe did bail him out. And Joe did do a lot of damage to Jimmy Rave, too. We then followed up with Punk coming out. He's mad he's not on the show. Out comes Jeff Jarrett. And they have a match. Oh, they have no chemistry. Okay. It's better to find that out now when I have the money to do this. Although they still have an exceptional match, a 59 wrestling rating, a 54 crowd rating, and a 57 segment rating. We then followed it up with a John Cena promo where he goes to take on Nigel McGuinness, a 58. That was the best match on the card. Cena defeated Nigel McGuinness in 15 minutes, defends the title, and right after he gets attacked by the Fallen Angels. Amazing Red, Frankie Kazarian, and Samoa Joe beat him down, him and Nigel, after the match. And the lights go out when they come back on. Sitting on the top rope is Christopher Daniels, back for the first time in a long time. He hasn't been in the company for probably about 2-3 years by this point. The first ever X Division champion. And now he's here, and he says, I'm coming for the world title. That's what he wants. And that's how we end the show. A 58 overall rating, increased our popularity in all 56 regions. I think that might have been the best show we'd ever done. God, that financial report's going to be awful, though. We're going to go Cena and Punk. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt. I'm fine with that, though. Okay, maybe not that. We only got some in Mexico. We could have done with a little bit better than just 2 bips, but, I'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers. Also, Waltman just signed a handshake deal, so he's staying. 4,807 people watched it. I didn't want to skip ahead. I actually wanted to come back here. Has been awesome. That's good. If we go to our top 100 shows of all time, no, that's the 4th. It's the 4th best show we've ever done. Not even the best show we did this year. Hard Justice last month was the better. And Bound for Glory 2005 was the best one we'd ever done. So, not bad. Attendance-wise, yeah, we had 80 more people for this one? Okay. Final Resolution back in December at 200 people, and then we had a ton of stuff. Wow, 2006 is a really good year for us. I'm not lying on that. All right, so we made a lot of money off of that. Problem is, we spent a lot of money on that too. So we're gonna tone down the next show a little bit so we can recoup some of that damage. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna skip to the next show. Very proud of how that went. That could have gone a lot worse. I mean, financially it went pretty bad, but all things considered, quality wise, went well. Alright, here we are, weekly event number 52. We start off the night with a very simple match. Michael Shane versus Sanjay Dutt. Gains a 50 segment rating. I don't know how the algorithm came up to that, but I'm not going to complain. Pretty good, all things considered. Great way to start off the show. We follow that up with a match with the Brain Busters and the Dark Knight, and the Brain Busters win. a decent match. Lance Cade carried it pretty much. We then followed it up with a Mike Tenay and Don West going over what happened at the pay-per-view. So if you didn't watch it, you have a little bit more of like an idea what was going on. And they give the storyline reason of like, why aren't they all here? And the answer to that is pretty much, you know, the California guys, the Fallen Angels aren't here today. None of them are booked. None of the people that are going after are booked, so there's no reason to think they're going to be here. Cena and Rave aren't booked either. Cena got beat up after the match. He was checked into the local medical facility or the hospital, whatever you want to do. So he, not that he wasn't cleared to wrestle, but the company's being safe. They're not going to book him tonight, so he can recuperate, come back next week. Same thing for Rave, because Rave had gone into the match not 100%. He was cleared, but he wasn't fully there. And as a result, they're giving him that time, or they're forcing him to take that time, because he would rather been here and wrestled again. But they said, go home, recuperate, come back next week for a match. And then we follow that up with the main event of Sonny Siaki and Stephen Walters. An awful way to finish the show, but we still gained popularity, so we take that. You know what? Let's make Don West and Mike Tenay happy. Yeah. Just a small show. Still lost thousands of dollars. That all looks pretty good. That's Haku. Waltman joined that. Yeah, I figured that was kind of a simmer down show. Hi Nova, good to see you. Well, we will be close on ticket sales, and I think we will get above merchandise, but we'll have to see. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the big thing here. And to be fair, that's my own fucking problem. I did that to myself. I did in fact book Sean Waltman and Jeff Jarrett, so I can't be bad. Sean Waltman was $1,400 and Jarrett was 21. So that's a grand total of $3,500. Well, actually, that doesn't explain it all. That knocks it down to about $7,000. So where'd the rest of the money go? Well, the rest of the money went to the fact that I'm now paying Mike Tenay and Don West, and they're about $1,000 a piece. So compared to the $300 I was paying before. So yeah, that would do it. But if it weren't for the fact that I was, if it weren't for the fact that I fucking booked Jarrett and Sean Waltman, we'd have been fine. But now we got Sean Waltman on the card, so we're getting money from that. Punk's not even on this. Oof, I might have hurt my cash cow by having him lose. Did you gain anything here? Yeah, I mean, everywhere else, it looks like. On the southeast, you're pretty fine, but everywhere else you went up. That's good. Now I'm gonna go over to Jeff, and Jeff's gonna like crater. Okay, no, that wasn't bad. Oh. Okay, maybe that was bad. Maybe that was bad. I digress. We're gonna move ahead to the next show, and I'll see you there. All right, and here we are, weekly event number 53, held in front of 143 individuals. We have, for the first time in tag team action, the Fallen Angels, the tag team, Samoa Joe and Frankie Kazarian, and they're taking on the Haas brothers. During the match, they go back and forth, and they're evenly matched. However, eventually, Kazarian and Charlie go out onto the outside, and they're fighting out there. While that's going on, the ref's trying to deal with that. Amazing Red comes in, attacks Haas from behind, which puts him into a position where Joe lifts him up, hits him with the Emerald Flosion, and wins the match. Great chemistry for them. That 48 segment rating, great way to start out the show. After this, the Fallen Angels start to attack the Haas brothers, and John Cena comes out, chases them off, grabs the mic, and starts to cut a promo. Eventually, you see like the Haas brothers leave, like unceremoniously during the thing. Just kind of roll out, get out of the camera shot. Meanwhile, the Fallen Angels are up on the crowd, or maybe not up the crowd. We don't want to show how small the crowd is. Up on the entranceway, and Daniels comes out, and they get into a promo battle, which it went pretty well, all things considered. We then end off the show with Jimmy Rave and Jason Cross. Rave winning this time. Last time they fought, Cross had won. This time, Rave wins. Uh, Rave won in the show that he's still, the guy. Like, he should get the shot. He is entitled to a shot. That doesn't necessarily mean that he'll be the first one to get it. That was a 3,000. All right, Canada went up. Got a couple in America. That is good. And then we'll skip to the end of the month. Man, I just can't break 5. As much as I try, I just can't. All right. Show. Let's go ahead to the end of the month. Because it's such a short... That is a weird picture for 2006. Since we're so close to the end of the month, there's not a lot of reason to pull back and then go back in. I actually think the end of the month is right now. Oh yeah, it's doing all that stuff right now. All right, Male Wrestler of the Year, Paul Levesque, Triple H. Company of the Year, the WWE. Tag Team of the Year, the Tokyo Sweethearts, Manomi Toyota and Mima Shimoda. Male Tag Team of the Year is Test and Albert. Match of the Year is a WCW match. Ken Shamrock, Lance Storm, and Rey Mysterio beating Shane Helms, Al Snow, and Canyon. It's not bad. Show of the Year is Greed. Male Wrestler of the Year is Mark Briscoe. Male Young Wrestler. Female Young Wrestler is... That seems... Young Male Wrestler, Young Female Wrestler. How hard is that? Veteran Male Wrestler is Mitsuhara Misawa. How much would you cost to hire? With far too much, and you're an exclusive written. Female Veteran, Terry Runnels. Female Wrestler is Lisa Marie Vachon, which is Victoria. Takeshi Morishima. Worth a lot of money. Hey, we actually have somebody who's on that. Sweet. Totally not because of us, though. We've never booked you before. Alright. Attendance will be boosted again, because we did pretty good there. We defended the tag team titles, me and Rick, anyway. The NWA tag team titles, anyway. Alright. Huzzah. That brings us to the end of the month. Alright, so we lost $7,000. And we did hit the financial estimate. Oh my god. Okay. The financial estimate has changed. It's at 15.5 now. So that'll definitely be something to look forward to. That said, yikers, we spent a lot of money. Although, legitimately, what you could chalk that up to entirely was the $3,500 we spent for Sean Waltman and Jeff Jarrett that we did not need to. That was purely because I felt like it, not because it was beneficial in any way. And in fact, that seems to probably have hurt more, if anything. Although Cena's making more money, like his merchandise is starting to go up. That said, we need to focus more on doing that. Oh, we got the 4%. Yeah, it's been 4 weeks. So yeah, that 35. If you take out those 2 guys that we booked that we shouldn't have booked, would we put a different match in there? Maybe. But I mean, those 2 matches were about 30 minutes, and we had plenty of time. We were at 2 hours. That was the first actual 2-hour show we run. We did not need to do that. I did that because I wanted to, and as a result, I paid for it. The Jeff Jarrett special. That having been said, we're not gonna do that again this month. And this month, how many shows we got? One, two, three, four, five. We got 5 shows again. And I have no reason to expect that it's going to get any worse because we're going to get more popularity, which means we're going to get more sponsors. Our people are going to get more over, which means, and we're going to get more people into the building, which means we're going to sell more merchandise and sell more tickets. So that's always going to go a little bit better. The workers is really, again, if you take out the 35 from Waltman and Jarrett, we're sitting at about $8,800, which is a damn near double. But if you account that most of that is Mike Tenay and Don West, you know, Mike Tenay is $500, Don West is $400, so that's $900 a show. We use them 5 times, that's $4,500. There's your money right there. Now, is it worth it? I mean, that's really all in the eye of the holder. And in my mind, it's worth it. It makes our TV show look better, definitely. We're ranked 10th in the world now. Uh, I just saw that. So I need to find things to feel good about because it's kind of a disastrous month. But that was purely self-inflicted wounds. And again, they are on like pay per appearance. So I might just do a thing where it's like, okay, we're gonna go with like Don West and Larry Sweeney for a month or so, because Larry Sweeney's only $90, so that would only be 400 and or maybe $500 for the both of them, whereas it was like 300 for Ron Simmons and Larry Sweeney. But we were always getting negatives on the stuff, and that was hurting the show. So this should do better, hopefully. But I think what we're gearing up towards is going to be a good month of July. We'll probably make some money again. Probably not that much, but we'll see. So I will see you all again on the next video. Have a good night. See you later.